So I'm graduating soon, so I thought I might share with all of you what was a good idea and what was a mistake in my time in university. So I know it's a lot to ask of a child, even a teenager growing up, to know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their lives. But unfortunately, the best advice I can possibly give you is to simply find your passion as early as possible. In my time in university and in CEGEP and in all the steps between, the success stories I found were the people who knew what they wanted to do. Maybe not the specific job that they wanted to do, but more or less knew what made them happy. The failures I've seen were not people who were necessarily incompetent. In fact, some of them were very much competent. But what failed them was they had no course. They had no idea where to go, what path to follow. So how do you find your passion? I suppose there's not really an answer to that question, not an honest one at least. What I can personally recommend is to simply have fun. Play a video game, find a hobby, watch a movie, go out, talk with friends, talk with people in general, go to a museum, look around, read a book, watch a movie. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the sole course to success is simply academic. Do well at school and you'll continue to do well until the end of your days, but that's simply not it. You need to have a passion, you need to know what makes you happy. You need to explore who you are beyond school. What makes you happy? What is your character? And what is your character's place in the world around you? Plain and simple, academic success, at least before university, is just a means to an end, a stepping stone to get you into the next thing where you need to be. Everybody knows those kids, or maybe you were the kid, whose parents push to continuously academically achieve at the expense of what I'm sure they considered to be a waste of time. A good neutral word might be leisure. You know the one, the kid who could never go out because my parents said no, or could never play a game because my parents said no. Every moment not spent studying away is wasted time. Those kids definitely got the grades they were ordered to get. Those kids definitely got into the colleges they were ordered to get, and definitely got into the programs they were ordered to get into. But then what? Success is simple to achieve. Not necessarily easy, but simple to achieve when there is no real choice. But higher education is characteristic, defined by making choices. Kids who knew what their passions were, what made them happy, knew exactly what path to take, and just started walking. Some a bit slower than others and some very fast, but nonetheless on a straight course and not stopping. Kids who did not either lost their own sense of character and surrendered their emotions, or they meander about, getting lost. And when you're lost on a road, you either find your way or you get even more lost. Now, as I said, higher education is plagued with choice, paralyzing amounts of choice. If you're lucky, you come from maybe an academic family, and so they can tell you how to navigate universities, what different terminologies mean in the wider academic world, but not everyone is so lucky. Universities are chock full of hidden paths and opportunities that they simply don't tell you, and probably a lot of the people around you don't simply know. And so without an academic family to at least push you in the right direction, you have to plain and simply do the research yourself. But also, if I might recommend, talk to people, get involved. Talk to people who do the same things as you do and look what they're doing. Your peers can certainly be friends, but they can also be perfectly good lab rats. Like I said, look at people who are doing things similar to you. What paths are they taking? What opportunities are they seizing upon? Higher education never presents all its options. It is terribly elusive. And with only one lifetime, one youth to live, you can't possibly try all the options, experience it all. Watch and learn. Now comes the part where I advise less interesting things, like, say, discipline. Academia is a lot of just trying to distinguish yourself from the rest of the chaff. One of the best ways to do that is to never falter. Where others might waver or surrender, your good discipline maintains and rises to the occasion. As good of a thing it is to have discipline in higher education, many of my peers do not have it. So it's one of those easy traits to just have that immediately sets you apart from everybody else. An extension of discipline is, of course, planning. A lot of my peers simply wing everything, and this gives them great stress. They have to cram, they have to pull all-nighters, they have to neglect their personal health and well-being. I am unfortunately dyslexic, so I can't simply just wing things. So what you do is you plan ahead for everything. By planning, you put the 100 things that the university throws at you, you put them in the best order possible, and there's your plan. And you can relax, you can kick back and just do your work without worrying because you made a plan. You are doing the best thing you can possibly do in a given moment. You never have to stress whether, am I doing the right thing right now? Now for a couple of quick and easy tips, sit in the front of the class. Most people are cowards, and it's one of the easiest ways to set yourself apart. Like backing yourself against the wall, you don't have the option of hiding in the crowd like the rest of them. You are smack dab at the front of the class, right in front of the teacher's eyes. It is also an ideal position to engage with the class material, to ask questions, because you are basically in conversational range of the teacher. Always arrive on time. That's another easy one. Arriving on time is an act of discipline. Sitting in the front means that discipline can be seen. Now, I know Jordan Peterson is a bit of a controversial figure, but he does say, do things you want to be and don't do things you don't want to be. Arriving on time is one small act of discipline, but it is a stepping stone in a road that leads to an entirely, genuinely disciplined character. Waking up on time is another opportunity, but of course that's not academic, so I will leave that to you. An unfortunate reality of higher education and our society as a whole is it encourages people to deny themselves emotions and favors people who can do so. People who can always make the wise and reasoned choice regardless of what their emotions and well-being will be. Unfortunately, it is a monster that I have been made into, and I am happy for the success it has brought me, but I cannot in good conscience make it one of my recommendations. I started here by telling you, find what makes you happy. The usurpation of the very thing that makes us human is not that. And so I tell you this, not as a recommendation, but as a warning. Sorry for the move of location, the lighting was getting a bit unbearable for me. I'm also sorry for making the video so dramatic near the end and at certain parts. I made this video with the honest intention of making it about helping people like my younger self. And so, if any of you watching ever have any questions, feel free to drop it down in the comments and I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. I want you people to succeed as best as I can make you. I apologize for having taken such a long break from uploading. I had a summer course and, well, I finished it and I made 3 scripts, but I want to do them justice. I want to make good quality content for you, and unfortunately these scripts demanded more work than I could possibly get out in the small remnant of summer I had left. So I pumped this script out, gave it my heartfelt emotions as best as this unfeeling creature can possibly be, and well, I deliver it to you. As for giving updates and whatnot on the channel, I'm personally a bit of a private person, and well, I guess I don't like to show weakness. So I'm not inclined to share personal information. It's my philosophy that you do the job and, you know, that's that. But I know that a lot of people on YouTube, or maybe the viewers themselves, like to see that stuff. And so if you do, please let me know. I'll keep doing it. And if you don't, well, then I'm perfectly happy with just being myself.